Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin's price action and what's going on at the moment, and really Bitcoin setting itself up for potential downside continuation like we saw back in late 2022. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Let's dive right into this one. So just going back very briefly, we spoke about a potential lower high forming at the macro monthly range high resistance of 23,400. And that lower high was going to be a very pivotal reversal point, a price point rejection. And at the same time, that would tie into a failed retest attempt. So failed retest attempt right over here to another failed retest attempt right over here and a lower high resistance to boot. So kind of double confirmation, if not triple, because we saw an upside wick to really just confirm that confirmation of this becoming a new resistance. And the reason I mentioned this two-step downside confirmation is weekly candle close below 23,400, and that's the first step of breakdown confirmation, followed by an upside wick into that same level, turning that old support into a new resistance before seeing downside continuation. So the reason I mentioned that is that now we might be seeing the exact same thing happen, not with 23,400 or 300, but this time with 21,800. So it's interesting how we saw a lot of altcoins rally towards the upside, reclaiming supports and reclaiming old resistances as new supports and ascending level by level. What we're seeing from Bitcoin at the moment is we're seeing descending level by level in a confirmed two-stepped manner. So breakdown, weekly candle close below the key level, upside wick, turn into resistance, breakdown with this weekly candle below this old support, and now a potential relief bounce to turn this same old support into a new resistance before downside continuation deeper into this blue range, essentially 20k to 23,300. So we are seeing history repeat itself, not only on the upside of this range, but in the mid range of this current sideways structure as well. So that's quite interesting to see. Failure to reclaim this level as a support is going to probably see downside continuation, and we've been talking about not only the weekly time frame, but this being a daily time frame structure. So this might be a head and shoulders, right? So on the weekly time frame, this might look like a support lost and a resistance gained. On the daily time frame, we're seeing a daily bearish formation feed into that weekly time frame bias. So last Friday, a few days ago, we spoke about this head and shoulders, and if we just couple together the new cluster of price action that we're seeing in this head and shoulders, it's beginning to really start to look like a head and shoulders with each passing day. The only question is, are we going to see a cluster like this form around here, or are we going to see it form just below this green level right over here? So this cluster could occur a little higher than what we expected on Friday, but either way, that just doesn't really change much. It just changes whether this neckline, so the validation point of this head and shoulders, is this neckline going to be like this, or is it going to be a little bit more slanting towards the upside, where we see the trend line form something like this. So this validation point, it's really not that important whether it's a few $100 up or down. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the downside confirmed trend that occurs from this reversal, bearish reversal trend formation, and a validation of that breakdown from the head and shoulders on the daily time frame is probably going to see us actually flip this level into resistance in a confirmed manner and see further downside. And a measured move, let's remember, from this head and shoulders is essentially taking the top of that head and shoulders and extending it this way So in fact, are we going to be seeing this orange wedging structure? So that's later down the line. At the moment, we're occupying the upper half of this orange wedging structure. Are we going to see the head and shoulders break down and really just sentence Bitcoin to occupy the lower half of this orange wedging structure? But what we see on the daily time frame, perhaps short-term bearish. But if we're looking on the yearly time frame, then it's really something to get excited about. So let's remember, I haven't annotated this, but these are 4-year cycles. So candle 1 being the exponential candle, candle 2 being the bear market, candle 3 being the bottoming out phase, and candle 4 being the trend reversal into another exponential candle, bear market, bottoming out candle, trend reversal candle, and then we have the peak of the bull market. So we're seeing this candle 1 over here change slightly over time, not only diminishing returns, but at the same time we're not seeing that exponentiality in those candle 1s. Candle 1 is now becoming a bit more of a candle where we see a bull market peak rather than real trend acceleration. We might be even seeing that candle 4s are growing in strength. So we're seeing parts of the old candle 1 being transferred into a candle 4. So that may explain why candle 4 in this case was much stronger than this candle 4, for instance. But candle 1 on the other hand, because of that candle 4 upside, candle 1 was much smaller than what we saw in previous candle 1s right over here. But what we're seeing here at the moment is a candle 3 that has been quite strong, and by standards of history, it's been very strong really, 40% towards the upside from the lows. And just to give you an idea as to what this means in terms of 2015, 34%, not to mention downside wicking in a very immature, volatile market of the time. This is 8 years ago, so almost a decade ago. Could we see a downside wick like this again? It would be nice. We'd probably see more of a downside wick like this if possible, still on the cards. Nothing is impossible in this market, but just showing to you the candle body from 2015 and the candle body from 2023 of this year, well, we're seeing already a strong reaction in this bottoming out phase. So that's great news. We've seen much stronger reactions in 2019 and upside wicks being quite crazy. So if we do see a continuation in this reaction, of course a short-term dip perhaps because of that daily head and shoulders, but mid-term continuation towards this level, for instance, or even this level, which would tie in with a lower high, that we tend to see lower highs here on the 4-year cycles, lower high here as well, though we didn't really touch that lower high, but something to bear in mind nonetheless. Still, could we see such an upside wick like this? It's still possible. We're only in February and 40% up already, so still a ways to go. But the macro picture is very positive, especially since this is still just a bottoming out candle. We shouldn't really expect too much upside from this candle, and even though we've already got a lot of upside in this year, so lots to be happy about, the real upside happens in candle 4 and candle 1. So the next 2 years are going to be something to look forward to, and candle 3, this bottoming out candle, where we can still see some upside volatility as well as downside volatility, to be fair, but lots to look forward to in the coming years. But this is a last chart that we're going to be talking about, the Bitcoin dominance chart, and at the moment we're rejecting from this red resistance over here. And what has happened in the past, if Bitcoin dominance hasn't reclaimed this level as a support, because in late or at least mid 2022, Bitcoin dominance reclaimed this level as a support and then rallied towards the upside, so sucking out market valuations from altcoins. So altcoins would shed valuations during that time and Bitcoin would become more dominant in the market. But at the moment, we are seeing something that we've seen many times before, this red level acting as a resistance. And what we've seen happen before is a rejection to at least the blue level, and as low as the black level. Here rejection into the blue level before upside, and then here rejection past the blue level flips into a resistance, and then rejection over here before recovering once again. So really important to note that a rejection from here would see a return over here to the blue level and as low as this level. But let's say that it's going to the blue level next, and that's going to mean that pulling back on Bitcoin dominance means that we're going to probably see altcoins benefit a bit from this loss in market dominance from Bitcoin. So altcoins could still see some windows of opportunity to enjoy some upside after some key retests of macro levels. What we're seeing right now, lots of dipping in altcoins is occurring, but that might be to turn old resistances into new supports. And this Bitcoin dominance chart would assume so as well. So a downside continuation on Bitcoin dominance towards the blue level would be great for altcoins. But if we were to reclaim this level, then altcoins would suffer as Bitcoin dominance goes up towards this black level, even upside wicking below this black level. So that would be essentially the peak top for Bitcoin dominance and running out on its rally unless it breaks out from this black wedging structure, which is something that has to happen over time anyway. We're probably going to see this structure resolve and a breakout to new highs and highs we haven't seen in many years. So a Bitcoin dominance breakout is in the future, but it's not going to happen anytime soon just yet, because of how this level is figuring as a resistance. So altcoins could enjoy still a bit of rallying towards the upside, especially if we see rejection from this red level, and this would be the next level to watch out for risking on. In fact, at that level it wouldn't be sensible to risk on with altcoins unless this level breaks down like we saw over here and confirm the breakdown like here as well. So these are the two levels to watch out for de-risking from altcoins should that altcoin window really showcase itself. But until then, that's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and of course like this video if you'd like to see more market updates like this on Bitcoin and altcoins and different metrics that can really help your Bitcoin and altcoin investing. That's about it for this video. I'm Rekt Capital. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.